Welcome back to the channel. So this is one of 3 videos where I'm showing off my 6mm Napoleonics. So these are my Prussians. Now I must admit, I painted these ages ago. I'm not that much of an expert on the Prussians. So this is showing it off, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't quite remember exactly the details of the Prussian organisation and uniforms like I can with the British and French, for example. So starting off, let's start off with some Prussian infantry. So kind of the standard Prussian line infantry are in shakos. And again, these are Bacchus models. One of the things that make Prussian infantry stand out is the blanket rolls around them. So there's a pen nib if you want a sense of scale. So for my line regiments, I've used these flags. I think they're sort of provinces and areas of Prussia. Like I say, I'm not an expert on them, so I'm quite happy to be corrected. Loads of Prussians. Generally, they sit off when I'm refighting Waterloo. They generally sit off the table until they arrive and then flood the French flank. I have fought Ligny with the Prussians as well, and unfortunately that was a French victory. Now these are my landwehr, so you can actually see the differences in headgear. Landwears were more of a cap look, whereas the line infantry is more of a shako. Now officially the landwehr units weren't issued flags, but having a chat with some of the reenactors at the Waterloo Great Game and reading up on it myself as well, I think individual units will pick up their own flags. So for my landwehr units, I've picked up these kind of Prussian cross flags, so I can easily identify them from your standard line units. Yeah, in 6mm wargaming, you know what, I'm generally looking at the table from about 2 foot away, so I really want to be able to see what's what. Which then takes us on to the Prussian Cavalry, where what I've done is picked out a few different uniforms. So Prussian blue with yellow trim, and this unit is green with yellow trim. And the yellow trim I basically use as my light Dragoons. Again, this shows off something I've talked about in videos a lot, is on small scale horses, I do all the harnesses white, and it helps it stand out and just gives a bit more detail to the models. Then for Prussian heavy Dragoons, let's move these back. Oh, Prussian heavy Dragoons, I've done the edging in blue. Actually, there's a green unit and a blue unit there, so maybe so again, so I can see these guys from the tabletop and work out who they are by looking at the facings. Now, not during the 100-day campaign. The Prussians also had some cuirassiers in white. So these didn't make it to the 100 days campaign, but I do have a unit of Prussian cuirassiers. I've probably used spare French carbineer models, but in this scale, the paint jobs on them, you can't really see the difference that much, so often a colour paint job will suffice. Now we have some Prussian artillery, and I know there were different calibers of artillery, but the scale of games I normally play with this is each unit will be a battalion. I generally use Principles of War. I've got my own homebrew War Master game set of rules. So you've got 3 basic formations, or 4 if you're French: column, line, square, or attack column. And with Principles of War, you basically have a record sheet off table which you record the effectiveness of the unit. There's also a load of hidden information in Principles of War, so you don't quite know how strong your unit is till it starts fighting. And there's also a hidden movement as well, so if you're not if you're playing a scenario, that's already set. But if you're not playing a scenario, you've got hidden movement to get to it. And so yes, so the artillery is all of the same caliber. Again, I've gone blue limbers for the guns, carriages for the guns, just so you can see the difference there, so it doesn't get mixed up with other nations' artillery. It's generally light grey used for British, dark blue for the Prussians, and I'll use a green for the French. And finally, we have some Prussian officers. What I generally do for sort of divisional level commanders is 2 models for a base, and then army commanders. So this will be a Blucher when he appears on the tabletop. My army commander will have 3 figures on the base. So you go. That's my Prussians, and I do have a lot of Prussians. So this is the rest of the Prussian cavalry we'll have. Oh, it's some Uhlans lancers there as well. Prussian infantry. This is all the British infantry. It's another video about British and more Prussian infantry coming on the field. So alright, so that's my allied tray. I've refought Waterloo a few times now, and we're yet to get a truly resounding French victory. The French can basically take Houermont, La Haye in most of the games we've fought, but the Prussians arrive and push the French back, and that is it for the French. But anyway, as my camera goes a bit wobbly, best of the plans of mice and men. Anyway, that's my Prussians. I'm having a great time wargaming at the moment. I hope you're having a great time wargaming at the moment. And if you've got any questions, fire them away in the chat. I love chatting. I do have uniform guides for the Prussians. I've embarrassed myself today with my lack of remembering the uniform details for the Prussians. Obviously, I've spent time with it when I painted them, so I'll have to go back. Maybe when the Epic Battles Waterloo Prussians come out and I start painting those, that'll be a good spur to get me back up and running. But anyway, that's enough for me. I look forward to... Thanks for watching the video. I look forward to chatting to you in the future, and you have a great one. Goodbye.